as a guest, either through our marketing or by an individual that's part of our organization. My name is Isaiah Colton. I'm an AI business coach, and I help people really focus on generating leads in a way that's very different using AI, and then making sure that those leads get followed up on correctly using advanced smart technology and an AI employee. And one of the exciting things that we've been working on in the background is a unique way to actually capitalize on the leads that you've already paid for to help some of your vendor partners even want to even pay for your leads. And so we're going to talk about some really cool concepts here on a unique way to generate leads, and also to really build a secondary stream of income here today. And to have that conversation, I have Grant Wise, who's the founder of comarketing.com. And he's the genius behind this program where literally he has shown me live accounts where he has teams in the real estate space, or an agent in real estate space, that are making 20, 30,000, 40,000 plus on leads they're already spending for. And I know there's even bigger accounts than that, Grant. But it's a really awesome, really exciting concept that I'm really thrilled to share with you guys here today. So again, if you're just joining us, my name is Isaiah Colton. I specialize in helping people with AI and integrating AI into their company. And we really focus on lead generation, lead conversion, because that's where the AI space is the strongest right now. And so today's discussion is going to be around a little bit of a review of what we learned last week. For those of you that were here last week, how many people got a ton of value on insights on how to do paid ads better and how to do video better? For those of you that were here last week, right? Selena's a big shout out. So we're going to do a quick recap on what we learned last week, and then we're going to dive into how we can actually make money off of our database with our vendor partners. So Grant, I would say I'm going to do like a 15-minute 20-minute recap on what we learned last week, and then from there we'll go ahead and dive into how we can really monetize the existing leads in our database with the concept that you've created. So we're excited about that. So all right, so for those of you that were here last week, I want to make sure I get your participation, because there's some people that are joining us that were invited here that have never joined this conference call. So put this a little bit in context. If this is your first time here, you can go to our website if this is your first time here and learn a little bit more about us at www.inc.ai. And our mission is three things. The first one is to help you use AI to generate leads. The next one is to help you use AI to convert those leads into live transfers and booked appointments. And the third one is what this call is all about. It's an AI coaching platform to help you integrate AI into every part of your business to help you operate your entire company and to prepare it in the future. And here's the mission, folks, that everyone needs to write down. Your mission should be, over the next 1 to 2 years, is to become an AI-powered real estate team, or an AI-powered business, not just a business that's fiddling around with AI. Does that make sense to everybody? There's no higher sense of urgency to do that, because we have story after story after story, which some of those we're going to share with you today, of the people that are integrating AI and what we call agentic AI into their business. And they're seeing a ton of savings. They're bringing back time in their life. And not only are they increasing revenue, but they're doing it in a smarter way. And that's what this whole call is about every week. So thumbs up if we understand the mission and what this call is designed to do. Okay, so make sure that you come back on a frequent basis if you're part of the community, because we're learning something new every single week. So quick review from last week. All right, quick review from last week. When it comes to running paid ads, okay. Particularly, we talk about Meta. One of the things that we talked about last week was the importance of doing video paid ads. And for those of you that were here last week, what was the major reason why we want to make sure we integrate video paid ads, and we're not just depending on static ads in our marketing campaigns? And let's get some brave volunteers here. Jay says better response rate. Yep.
Yep. Higher intent.
Yeah, the big one is higher intent. You see, when somebody comes in off of a static ad, usually, it's a download, and they're going to forget about you a lot quicker. When if they come in off a video ad and they have no like and trust, they heard your message to the marketplace. They heard you presented the problem that you're solving, your solution, and then they book a call or they opt in from there. As David said, it's a lot higher intent and the conversion rate is very high. And so we've tracked and seen that when a lead comes off of a static ad and then hits a page and they don't see any video versus versus when they see a video first and then they come in because they saw the video message, the conversion rate's higher. And so we're really excited about that. And so we had a whole bunch of ideas that we exchanged, which we're going to go over in a minute. One of those ideas was is like what different types of video ads and how do I prompt to make sure I develop really good video scripts. So does anyone remember some of the ideas from last week that you guys were going to try out based on our discussion from last week? Does anyone remember? Well, one of the big ones, which I don't see enough people doing, is making sure that when you have a listing that closes, this is what I see all the time. And folks, please write this down. This is worth the whole call. And a lot of you could literally make six figures off of this one piece of advice I'm about to give you right now. Okay. Is when you do your just listed and just sold content. Okay. When I see this, I see people just saying, hey, just listed, just sold. But here's the problem. There's no story behind it. They're losing the story behind the listing. They're not talking about the pain points that the client had without giving away any like particular information that's private. They're not talking, and because they're not talking about the pain points, all they're doing is seeing this static image. Just listen. It's more of a bragging. It's more of like it feels more like you're bragging that you sold a house than any sort of marketing piece. Does that make sense to everybody? And so one of the big takeaways we had from last week was to stop just posting something that's like a brag post, but instead take some time and actually go to Claude or go to Manus, which we're going to give you that prompt here. I actually got the prompt for you to be able to do it correctly and develop a video that captures the story of the just sold. And that will not only do better organically when you actually develop a video where you really hit the pain points of the client and what the client had, how you help them overcome those pain points, followed up by a call to action. That'll do better organically. But here's the power in it is that if you're running paid ads, that paid ad will perform at uh, almost double, if not triple, the rate of just a static, just sold ad.
Hey,
And
Isaiah.
yeah, go ahead. Yep.
So last week, a bunch of us made a commitment to do a video over the last week. And I just want to say I haven't seen Selena's, so I don't know exactly what happened there. But I did set an appointment with Terry Murphy to do an hour interview for content. So we actually have set that up, and she's going to interview me for content. So on top of doing the next just closed, I did set an appointment to do that video. So I'll have an hour's worth of content to send out.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking action on your commitment, James.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
I know we should probably, shame Selena for not doing hers.
Well, I had nothing important happen this week. Ever. Nothing.
And so one of the other things that we talked about was to make sure that the video script that you're using has the right framework to it. And you can write this down, but I also have a document that I'm going to be sending out afterwards. So if you don't like aren't able to capture all of this, then don't freak out about it. But there's a really specific structure that you need to capture to make sure that your video script is it actually has what I call the elements of persuasion in it. Okay, there's different elements of persuasion, especially when it comes to vision or when it comes to video. And I'm going to give the prompt in a second, but the first one is you have to have a strong hook. Okay, everyone know what a hook here is? You have to do something that's going to get their attention. And there's ways to do that on a screen. There's ways to do that through visuals, artwork, etc. Most likely, that's going to come from you making a bold statement, speaking to their pain and their motivation. Here's the thing: this is not just for sellers. It's not just for buyers. It's the same with agent attraction. So whatever the topic of the video is, it would you come something like this is our like, hey, are you sick of working for your brokerage and getting no attention? Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Or are you sick of how are you sick and tired of paying, X amount of commissions to your brokerage and not feeling like you're getting anything back? That's a hook. So the hook is around the pain. And it's really important that you do that. Now, here's the bigger problem. Most people brush over the pain and they don't drill down in the video on what that feels like. They don't go a level deeper. So, for an example, if one of my unique value propositions was that I actually offer leads to, qualified agents, I might say, hey, are you with a brokerage that doesn't feel like you don't feel like you're getting the value and you're wondering where your next lead comes from? Well, that can be very painful because if you don't know where your next lead's coming from and you're just depending on referrals and you don't have any other lead source, how are you going to predictably scale your business? And if you can't predictably scale your business, then you're going to end up on the transaction roller coaster affecting your family, your time, stress levels. Do you see how I drilled down another layer there? And I'm not saying that I would use that exact script because it would be a little bit more scripted out. But when you're doing your videos, you can't just say the surface level pain. You got to go 2 or 3 layers deeper into your scripting with the pain points so they have to feel like you're speaking to them. And a really great ad, if you've ever been drawn in by an ad that was helping you solve a problem, you felt instantly that they were speaking to you in some way. You're like, oh, I can relate to that. Okay, I'm going to pause there. Does the psychology behind not just stating the pain point, but drilling down into that in the video of what that looks and feels like in real time, does that psychology make sense to everybody?
Yeah, what'd be really cool, Isaiah, is the number one responded to ad that we have out there right now is Are you tired? It's the Ren ad is Are you tired of chasing leads? We probably get 4 to 6 a day. That thing bings up left and right. It's not a big form filler outer, but it's a big response. Imagine how much better that would be with that being the lead in of the video, and then this is how we solve the pain, and this is the success of that. So I think that's definitely one. I was going through stuff last night, and I'm amazed how many people respond to that one. And I think those other two pieces would be huge to get engagement.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said that because that's a perfect segue into the next part that I wanted to talk about. Is just a recap from last week. Is if you have an ad that's doing well and performing well, then work with whoever your team is to create a slightly different version of the same ad. And so my mentor, for example, that I work with and that I learn everything from, at any one given time, he has 100 different versions of the same ad. Now, he has a very huge marketing team, and his company does $250 million in revenue. So he's able to do that and achieve that. But we can do something similar where we can use AI, right, to recreate the same ad, just slightly different. So for one of the things that we have been working on in the background with our team is actually going into Canva and having AI in Canva produce the same ad that's working, right? Just slightly different. So one of the action steps from last week was to go to Facebook Library, see what ads are working, and work with either your internal team or if you're using a team to help you manage ads, okay, is to work with them on duplicating the same ad that's working just slightly different. And what that ends up doing is we've seen cases where, like, let's say your cost per lead was like $10 a lead or $15 a lead. We've seen that drive down to like $5, $7 a lead. In some cases, we've gotten down to $2 to $3 per lead. Now, that only happens with the next part is looking at how much money that you're spending on new lead generation versus how much money you're spending on remarketing to your database. And everyone's got a different formula. It's a different balance. And based on the size of your database, based on what your goals and objective are. But a good rule of thumb is that if you have, let's just say, less than 10,000 leads in your database, okay, then you probably should be spending 70% on building your audience and 30% on actually remarketing to your audience. And this is what we talked about last week for your notes. I want you to make sure you take this down, is that your remarketing is always going to get you a lower cost per engagement and per lead than somebody you're reaching out to new. Anybody have any idea why? It might be obvious, but I don't want to pretend like it's obvious.
Because they don't think you're stalking them. They're more stalking you, and then the time when they're ready to come forward with whatever their need is, they come to you on that at that time.
Yeah. I'll say it a little bit a different way, David, but I agree with you. It's like it's we hear this all the time. Know, like, and trust. Here's the power of digital marketing and the power of AI helping you with digital marketing, especially with how it's advancing. You have a 24/7 recruiter. You have a 24/7 marketer that's out there marketing for you. But here's the thing. How many people have ever made a call and the person said not interested? Anybody here? Anybody gotten that before? Okay. I hope so, right? Or else we shouldn't be in real estate, right? If we haven't had that happen to us, here's the thing. They're saying that so new people that don't know you, okay, even if they're interested in thinking about selling their home, they're they might have seen your ad, but they're saying to themselves, I'm not interested. But here's the thing. Does that mean that they're saying they're not interested yet or ever, I should say? No. And so please write this down. In order for you to get somebody to actually click on the ad and opt in, they have to see your ad at least 8 to 12 times in some way, shape, or form. That's an average, folks. You hear, am I heard on that? Some people might click right away. Some people might take longer, but just on average, it's around 8 to 12 impressions. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to um, when it comes to looking at your different ad sets, then, right? If they see a mix of static ads, they see a mix of carousel ads, and they see some video ads, and those are cycling, and those look different, and those are different every time that they see you. I want you to imagine that the same person saw you in the same outfit walking down the street every day. Would they be a little weirded out by that? Be like, so if they're just seeing the same ad or the same type of ad as it's cycling around and they're not seeing different styles of ads, they're not getting to know you as well. They're not getting to know your culture, your business, your unique value proposition, etc. They're just seeing the same dude, right, wearing the same shirt every day. And guess what? If they see that same shirt every day, they're less likely to actually notice you, right? So that's those are just some things that we covered last week. Now, one of the things that uh, as promised, people are like, well, I want to make sure that I have a really good prompt to write my video scripts. So as you guys know, I teach what's called the God prompt. Okay. And so one of the things that I want to do is make sure that we know how to use this God prompt extremely well for this exercise. So that way when you're producing video scripts, it's capturing uh, it's capturing the art and science of what's going to influence people to take action in that video. Because here's the thing, you can get on camera. If you don't have this science built into it, the video will not perform. If it's just somebody fumbling and bumbling on a paid ad, it just won't perform. Is that fair
Oh,
enough?
as I want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I try not to, but talking about the prompt.
Yeah.
Remember on Tuesday I said about my biggest distraction is my email. It's
Yeah.
already done. It fixed. AI, it cleans my inbox every hour, every single day, and it only lists the important things on my email. It tells me and it gives me a message. That is incredible. Never in a million years I would think that would be possible.
Let's give him a huge
So
round of applause for taking action on what you learned on Monday.
it
Like,
is insane. I couldn't even think that would be possible.
yeah,
I
and you
don't
did
have
that.
to
You did that.
worry about my
Did you use
emails
Claude or
anymore.
did you use Manus to do that out of
Claude,
curiosity?
Claude.
Claude,
But
beautiful.
I did what you said. I wrote, give me a best prompt. This is what I
Yeah, you
want,
used
blah, blah,
God
blah, blah.
prompts.
Very detailed. Man, it worked like Mike. I don't
I
know.
love it. And how much time, money, and energy do you think that's going to save you
Oh
over
my God,
the course of a year?
it is insane. A lot. And like I said, one thing that we also in real estate, we is constantly looking at the email to see if we got any
Yeah.
offers, to figure to get things. I don't have to worry about it anymore because in this text message that it tells me, it gives me a message at the end when it's done every hour, and it tells me you have 5 important email. So if I have 5 important email, I go check. If I don't have any important email, I don't even look at my email. I keep working on all the things in marketing, whatever anything else I
Love it.
have to do.
I
It
love
is
it.
insane. So
And
amen to that, man.
if you're not coming to our Monday call and you're part of the Ren AI community, make sure you come to our Monday call because that's where that was our last discussion. So it's 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for sharing that. That's huge. That's awesome. I love that. All right, so let's talk about the God prompt framework. So the first step of the God prompt is give me the perfect prompt. And then what you need to do is give it as much detail of what you're trying to accomplish. That's the first step. Okay. You got to give it as much context and detail. The God prompt works great if you give it context and detail. Can I get a yes in the chat for if we can say if we're in agreement, we got to give it context and detail. In other words, if I say, "Hey, give me the perfect prompt to do a lead generation campaign on Facebook." Okay, that's okay, but what you want to do is say, "Hey, give me the perfect prompt to do a just sold video with a goal to highlight the pain points that my client had, which are boom, 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 right? Do you guys see the difference in that, right? And then what it'll do is it'll come up with this amazing prompt that'll never come up with any other way.
If you have kind of a rambling project in Manus too, and you want to clean it up and put it in an end folder, I always have it make me a God prompt that is the final version of it. And I name it final version of whatever I'm doing. So that because when it renames stuff, we've talked about that early on here.
Yeah.
Manus will rename your stuff and you can't find it because it thinks whatever it thinks the name is. So
Drives me crazy when it does that.
I
Yeah.
always write whenever I start a God prompt or a total finish up prompt, I always say name this exactly this in quotations because then I can at least find it again because that's 80% of the problem when you start building stuff out is it'll rename it on you.
Love it. Yeah, that's great. Well, that's what we covered last week, and what we're going to do is just quickly do a quick example, and then what's going to happen is Grant's going to come on, and he's going to talk about we're talking about the importance of lead generation. We know how important lead generation is to our business, but what's going to come next after I just do this quick example of the God prompt to make sure that we're doing it the right way and to show you how to do it with video scripting is what's really important is finding ways to make alternative streams of income off of what you're already spending. How many people like the idea of that, right? Like, hey, would that make sense to have a vendor partner not only just try to like do a joint venture, but actually want to pay for your leads? Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And Grant, it's about just to give you a heads up, Grant, it's about a 5 minute countdown here at this point. So I'm just gonna do one more quick thing and then we'll have you on. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen quickly here. All right, some exciting news. If you go into the Renegade CEO community here, we just released a full course on it's called Manus Mastery, and it shows you all of the different ways you can use Manus to put your business on autopilot. And just to give you a little bit of an idea here, there's over 100 ways to use Manus to automate your business. Uh, and it's broken down. I broke this document down by marketing, sales, service, tech, ops, finance, legal, HR, and recruiting. So it's an extremely detailed document. You just take a couple use cases that you're thinking about, search it, or just take one at a time. And then this is broken down into a course here. And then all of the videos that we've done on Manus are at the bottom. So like um, so you can see actually video training at the bottom of making sure you're getting it set up the right way and all that. But these are all the different use cases. Things like content generation, lead distribution, referral and sphere marketing, branding and reputation building, like doing a branding audit on your business. So help you manage your Google My Business page. How many people are getting excited just hearing me talk about these different things, right? So that just came out. So I want you to make sure that you take advantage of that. Give me feedback if it can be more user friendly. Definitely open to that. And then let's go to actually I'm going to go to my AI marketing employee. So you can see here, one of the things you'll learn in the videos is how to set up your employees. So here's an AI marketing employee. And you can see I do have a whole bunch of cool stuff going on here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, give me the perfect prompt to a just
Hey,
sold.
really quick, is this gonna be recorded that we can watch it
Yeah,
later?
the whole thing's recorded. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, perfect.
Just sold video for Meta paid ads. I would give it more detail, folks. If I had more time, I would go into more detail. I just want to state that for the video. Is that cool with everybody? Can you promise me you'll give it more detail where you'd give it the story behind it, etc. Like that you'd give it the problem, the pain points, how you overcame that, and that you would want to make sure you plug that in there. So I'm just stating that for the video, but I want to make sure that we have enough time for the rest of this. And then what Manus is going to do. And here's a little bit of a growth hack a lot of you don't know. I can tell Manus to go write this in Claude. I can tell Manus to go write this in Gemini. I can tell Manus to go write this in ChatGPT. What are you talking about? I thought Manus was its own large language model. Manage is an agentic AI agent, is an operator. It is not, it could care less what application it uses to get the job done, it will use it. And if it's not hooked up to it, it will ask you to hook it up to it. So for example, the first time I asked it to go use Claude, it just needed the Claude API key. So I already had my Claude account. It just needed the Claude API key, and then it went and did the work in Claude for me.
So you're saying you cannot choose between Manus and Cloud, you have to have both?
You need to have the API key if you want. It has to be connected to a Claude account in order for it to communicate to it. But it unless they already have a partnership. So to answer your question, it depends on the service. Like they're already partnered with Instagram, so you don't it just will automatically communicate. But you got to have an account because
The reason I'm asking is I'm paying for Cloud.
yeah,
So if I'm gonna get Manus, can I just decide, okay, I'm not gonna pay for Cloud anymore, I'm only gonna pay for Manus? Or
you still have
to
to pay
have
for
a better, I need to have Cloud too.
Yeah, but
Have better
the
outcome.
advantage of hooking them up together, though, is Manus can go do the work in Claude and bring it back so it's still all organized in the same ecosystem instead of having stuff over here in Claude and stuff over here in Manus. Yep.
It will also tell you that it wants to do it in another language model too. It'll say, let's do this here.
Right.
So you basically need all of them a little bit, but like the one I spend the most money on by far is Manus. But the stuff you can build out is almost unbelievable. It's crazy.
Yeah. Who agrees this is a pretty awesome prompt, right? So like let's say now now go create the paid ad video script. And then so what it's going to do, it's going to come up with a paid ad video script. Now people ask me all the time, well, how fancy does my paid ad have to be? When it comes to just listed, just sold, there's a couple you can just, if you could have the background of the house, you could just, have a decent background. It doesn't have to be incredibly fancy. And there's a million tools that you can also edit out of. One of my favorites, Submagic. You ever use Submagic? You can do short form video editing in seconds. It's like it just does it all for you. I shoot videos out of Riverside too. And then there's editing there too. So, but they don't have to be overly complicated. One of the things that is shown is that over editing videos does actually cost you more, and it does not improve engagement. If the video is too polished and too edited, uh, you actually can lose credibility because people don't think it's authentic anymore. So you got to be a little bit careful finding that balance in some cases. Now, obviously, there's some cases where you have to have polished videos and you want a really good digital presence. So I'm not saying don't do like really nice videos, but when it comes to like a just sold video that you're using for a Facebook ad to generate leads, you don't want to go spending all of this time on a polished, like a super polished. Does that make sense to everybody? Right? So like you still want it to have your brand in it. You still want it to look good. You still want it to feel good. You just want to just be careful you're not overproducing. Okay. So what I love about this, it breaks down in the exact step-by-step process of what I need to do in this video script. Pretty cool, huh? So I can just follow this and it's got everything that I need there. Does everyone feel like they could execute on this between now and next week or a video like this? Okay. So again, for those of you that did not do this exercise, I want to make sure that you're practicing, you're doing one video so we can talk about it. So can I get everyone's commitment here that you're going to try to do one video, or at least if you're not, don't commit, but you try to do one paid ad video that you can launch through a paid ad to drive leads, and use it for either new traffic or remarketing. Okay, awesome. Well, like we talked about, all of this is good, but guess what? Who's paying for the cost? Who's paying for these leads? We are, right? It's coming out our commissions. I don't know about you, but I don't have some big venture fund backing me. Do you guys? Okay. So, so I got to pay for this stuff, right? And so I have to make sure that I monetize these leads. And if you are good at what you do over time, you develop a lot of good relationships and your database is worth a lot. And so I am so excited to have Grant here. And just so you know, Grant Wise, I've actually learned a lot about lead generation from in the space. And I know a lot and I learned from him. He's been in the lead generation space for over 15 years, I think. He has built some amazing software to help with lead generation. And recently he came out with this concept of co-marketing. And I'm going to let him explain how it works. I'm not going to steal his thunder. But he is working with some of the biggest names in real estate when it comes to co-marketing and actually helping monetize the database. Names that you would know, like Gary Ashton, the largest, I think he's still the largest Remax, agent in the world, and some other huge names when it comes to helping them subsidize their lead generation costs and create a whole different stream of revenue. So, Grant, thanks for being here today. I'm looking forward to hearing you explain this concept, and we're good to go for about 20 minutes if that gives you enough time. I know I went a little bit longer. Does 20, 25 minutes give you enough time?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Thanks to AI, even my presentations have gotten shorter. So I think
That's
that probably
great. That's
probably
great.
probably makes everybody happier too.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the introduction. Getting to do what I do is very fun. Just brief context for everybody. I got started in the real estate space about 15 years ago, teaching real estate agents how to do Facebook ads and turned that into a software company and a consulting agency, and found myself working with the number one teams in the world. Still grateful to be able to call Gary, a client, friend, and a partner. We've helped them generate an extra $190,000 as of this month in free cash flow that they could use through co-marketing to cover lead costs, team costs, technology costs, whatever it is that they want. I'm going to show you some other cool things. We've got another team that's very close to breaking 90,000 in just over the past year. All of this is just free cash flow. So I'm really excited to dive into this. I do also have a surprise, something that I didn't spend a ton of time chatting with Isaiah about, but something that is going to help you all save a ton of time. And so just to help me, if you guys don't mind, go into the chat really fast. I just want to know how many transactions on average per month are you guys doing? I work with people that are doing one every couple of months. I work with people that are selling 100 houses a month. It doesn't matter to me, but definitely curious because I want to make sure that I direct the next few minutes to give you all the maximum amount of help possible. So I'm seeing 1, I'm seeing 4 to 5, I'm seeing 25 to 30. These are all amazing numbers. 10 to 15, really good, really good, really good, really good. Okay, I'm going to show you. Um, I'm going to show you a really simple way that you all can do two things. One, get paid twice on every transaction. Some of you may already have mortgage, title, insurance. I'm going to show you how to add a new revenue stream to every transaction that's fully legal, it's fully compliant. You can start today. It's very easy. And oh, by the way, all of you are already doing it. And then I'm going to show you all how to save up to 5.5 hours per transaction when it comes to repair estimations, coordinating contractors, those different types of things, which is a massive part of the work that you guys do on a daily basis. And by the looks of it, this could help some of you save a monumental amount of time for your organizations. And so I'm really excited about that. So what are we doing? What is co-marketing? So co-marketing is really a concept that was invented in real estate. And it kind of started between the mortgage industry and the real estate industry. And so let's say you were spending $10,000 a month on Zillow leads. I'm just giving hypothetical examples. A lender would come in and co-market, essentially cover a percentage of your budget up to 50% based off of RESPA's regulations to help you offset your cost to do business with Zillow. So instead of paying 10 grand a month, you'd pay 5 grand a month and you would get the same amount of leads. And while it was a concept that was, kind of common or a word even that was common in real estate, not necessarily was this a term in marketing that a lot of people paid much attention to. And a few years ago, as I was consulting for a lot of teams, I kind of noticed this trend. My job was to come into organizations and find new ways to make money and or find things that were not happening, like we're not doing email marketing or we're not doing Facebook remarketing, we're not doing this, find ways to make money based off of how the businesses are going. And I noticed that every single organization, every agent, if it was a solo agent, all the way up to the biggest teams in the world, were doing this one thing, but they weren't getting paid for it. You are all sending referrals to home service providers. Raise your hand because we've got most of the videos on. Have you ever sent a referral to a home service provider? Mover, roofer, painter, electrician, handyman, cleaning company. We've all done it. It's a big part of the business. When you're in real estate school, they teach you to make a vendor list because you're going to need it. You're going to have to rely on these people constantly. But how many of you have actually gotten paid for doing that? I'm not seeing any hands, just some smiles and smirks. Okay, I got one hand. Okay, got a couple. Okay. This is all I do now. I could not put this down 3 years ago. I'm like, no, this is a ton of money that you all are leaving on the table. And one team leader was like, all right, well, if you think it's worth so much, why don't you do something about it? So I said, okay, cool. I'm going to build a preferred partner program. Nothing crazy, obviously, just it's packaging. It's the marketing of it. And I'm going to go out and get your vendors to start paying you. And he was like, knock yourself out. Good luck. I don't think that he thought that it was going to amount to anything. Does anybody want to guess how much money I made him in the first week, 7 days? I would love to see what the ideas are here. Hit it, throw it in the chat section. How much money do you think I made him in the first 7 days? $500? 500 bucks? 500 bucks? That's all I'm seeing. Seeing some guessing, some thinking, some typing. 2,000? 50 cents? Just kidding. Thanks, David. 1 million? That would be sick. I made him $7,000 in the first 7 days. Cash collected, money in the bank, $7,000 in 7 days. I went on, we got up to just under $15,000 in the first 30 days. This is monthly recurring revenue that he still makes. In all of this happened within about a month. And I was blown away. And then I went to another team And then I went to another team and another team and another agent, and another team and another, and I just kept going throughout the real estate verticals, real estate, retail, working with real estate agents, team leaders, broker owners, investors, property managers, wholesalers. And I was just blown away. All of us do this. We just don't get paid for it. And by creating this preferred partner program, what you're doing is you're giving yourself the ability to invite vendors in to a partnership that is mutually beneficial. And I learned a lot about what to do, and I learned a lot about what not to do. And that's what the last 3 years has been for me. It's just a journey of refining this process to where we've gotten it right now. And what I'm going to kind of walk you through is just really simply how to create your own preferred partner program, how to do it in a way where you get paid every single time that you send a lead to somebody, and so that you get paid upfront just for sending the contact information. No, there's no guarantee of business. That would be illegal. And no, you don't get paid after they close a deal. You get paid upfront the minute you send a lead. Does that sound amazing to anybody else? You guys send out a ton of referrals like this. I'm seeing some head nods. Okay. So this is all we do. I we just put together a simple website, looks like this, and it's a white labeled website. So it's got, your logo on it. And this is what you want it to look like. Okay. And you can filter it by category. The clients can, you can filter it by location. You can filter it by postal code or zip code. This is a Canadian account, so it says postal code. Yes, we work in the States. We're headquartered in the States. So it's got a list of all of the vendors that somebody could do business with. Now, if I want to send a lead to a service provider, I just click on that particular service provider, or a client can click on that particular service provider. As I can see, this is an HVAC company. I can enter my information. I can enter the service address for the location, and I can select what work that I need to get done. Now, each one of these are essentially a different lead type or a different value per lead. So let's just say it's a new install. If I click this button and hit submit, here's exactly what's going to happen. This is what I kept hearing is why people didn't want to do this. I don't know how to take care of the payments. I don't want to have to track it all. I don't want to have to do all of this stuff. It sounds really complicated. As soon as I click submit, this company's credit card gets charged for whatever the value of this lead is. I think this particular lead would be $75 for this one vendor. So as soon as I hit submit, their card gets charged. It's instantaneous. It happens instantaneously. And they get the lead and I get paid. And if I come over here into a dashboard, this is what everybody else was saying, is this is really hard to track. I don't know how to do all of that stuff. I don't want to have to go through the complicated process of putting all that together. So what I said is like, okay, I'll just do that. No problem. If I send a lead, I can instantly see who the lead is and who it was sent to, dates and all that stuff. And what's cool is the tracking was always really hard. How do I know where so-and-so is at with a lead? It's like, oh, okay, no problem. They're scheduled. Cool. Pending. They're sending a bunch of leads every day. They won the job. I can see the value of that job. Some of these people are winning jobs for big dollar amounts, 7,000. There's other monsters in here, $1,000. Whenever they win the job, we get to see, okay, how much. There's one, $3,500. There's another one, $1,250. I get to see how much they won the job for, which helps me understand how profitable the relationship is for the service provider. And then I get a dashboard that just shows me, okay, in a glance, how much have I earned from this preferred partner program? How many partners have I got? How many leads have I sent? And who's my top performing partner? In this relationship, the HVAC company is one of their top performing partners. Then the mover is right behind them. You guys could refer a mover on every single deal that you do, and that's worth at least $80 to $120 per lead that you guys could be earning. All of you on here today, how many of you love, I always like to share I always like to look at the screen when it says, how many of you love when ADT harasses you after every closing? I see a lot of people laughing and head nods. So ADT will harass you nonstop. Oh, we'll pay you $200 post-close, $200 post-close, $200 if somebody can close a deal. Well, I went to ADT and said, agents hate you. They're sick of this. Stop calling them, stop harassing them, and you should pay them up front. And they agreed. And we created a national partnership with Bulldog Security Services, which is an authorized dealer of ADT. Now they'll pay $45 to you just for sending them a lead. And I can get you all that partnership literally today, the moment you open a comarketing.com account, right? It's really easy to put these partnerships together, the more volume that we're starting to push through these systems. But our model is not, I'm going to send you a lead and we'll wait till you close a deal and then I get paid. No, I'm going to send you a lead and you're going to take that lead and you're going to go close it. That's what you have to do. You have to buy leads and you have to go follow up with them and you have to close the deals. But you guys want to hear a crazy statistic? The average home service provider throughout the United States and Canada right now, across all of comarketing.com, is converting 48.6% of the leads they get from you. Isn't that crazy? 48.6% of the leads that you all send through this preferred partner program are being converted into customers. And the average rate of return is 1,370% for these service providers. How many of you would love those numbers? If you could convert half of every lead you get at a 1,370% return. You have so much value to offer the marketplace, but you're not really seizing it. You're not taking advantage of it, yet you're incurring costs. The real estate model is broken, and it has been for a long time. Invest $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, and go negative every month until you close the deal 3 months in, and then you recoup some of your money, and then keep going negative for a few months. And then it's not a game that I want to play. I want to get paid up front for the value that I deliver. And having a preferred partner program allows you to do that, because now you start getting paid every time you send a lead to somebody, and you can start bringing in hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per month that completely offsets all of your expenses. And that's the goal. Offset your cost, zero out your costs so that you grow stable. Still invest the 5 to 10 grand a month in your business, but do it in a way where you're not going negative every month. Do it in a way where your cash flow stays flat and then you're profiting on everything instead of just recouping some of your money. Yes, you guys spend upfront all the time. So that's what you want to do, is you want to build a preferred partner program. And here's what you want to offer the vendors that you partner with: exclusive leads. That's all they care about. Angie's List, is everybody familiar with Angie's List, right? Angie's List 5 years ago was a $5 billion company. Does anybody want to guess how much they're valued at today? $500 million. Not even half of what they were, $500 million. A 90% market cap decline. Does anybody want to know why? Because everybody's sick and tired of paying a premium for leads that they then have to fight their competitors for. Only thing that we've ever offered these people is exclusive leads. It doesn't mean that I won't have 3 or 4 movers that I'm partnered with, but if I send you a lead, you're the only person that I'm sending the lead to. That's why the conversion rate stayed so high, and that's why the trust and the success is so high in what it is that we do. So when we're putting these partnerships together, that's all we say. Hey, look, we're going to offer you up exclusive leads. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have multiple movers, but if you're the only, if you get a lead, then you're the only person that got that lead. And this is what I love, Renee, is what if you do not have a high volume of leads? We're not generating leads off the internet and then reselling them to these vendors. Okay. I want to be clear about that. Your customers are always asking you, hey, do you have a roofer that you recommend? Do you have a painter that you recommend? Do you have a plumber that you recommend? That's the point that we are sending a lead to the service providers that you are partnered with. That's why the conversion rate is so incredibly high. Okay, so I'm going to go back and just kind of walk you through a couple of things. How many of you are like, this sounds amazing, but I don't want to call my vendors? You can be honest. Like, I don't want to call my vendors and try to get them to pay me. You can, it's fine. Like, none of you want to do it. That's what I kept hearing from every team that I worked with. It's like, that sounds really cool, but I don't have time to call these people and try to put the deals together. Meanwhile,
only a title company was willing for years to pay me a monthly. Nobody else.
Yes. Okay. So how many of you would be like, Grant, if you could just do that for me, that would be amazing. Does that sound good? Okay. In the spirit of talking about AI, and I know I just have a couple of minutes left, I built you guys something. It's called Partner Finder. I'm going to go to my test account really fast so I can show this to you. So with Partner Finder, what this is it's an omni-channel AI agent that will call vendors for you and sell them on the partnership. So all you have to do, you can click the see how it works button if you want. You can kind of see how it all works. But if I activate Partner Finder, oh, I think they just reset my account. Hopefully they didn't do that. Okay. If I activate Partner Finder, I can just say, hey, I need a new mover in my market. Cool. And then I'm going to type in Rogers, Arkansas. That's Rogers, Virginia. That's fine. I can set the radius for how the location settings, and then I can activate Partner Finder. Now, what's going to happen is Partner Finder is going to call the highest rated, highest reviewed service providers in your area. and it's going to call them and it's going to text them and it's going to email them to put partnerships together. We activated Partner Finder on a new account yesterday. Within 2 hours, we already had a painting company signed up to partner with this person, which blew me away even. It's amazing. And if you have your own vendors that you've always loved doing business with, you can just add those vendors into Partner Finder and it will call your own vendors for you. So it'll call your vendors and get them to sign up to partner with you, or it will find new vendors to partner with you. And what we'll do is we'll go out, we'll negotiate with them. Hey, this is what's happening. We're creating a new preferred partner program. We'd love for a mutually beneficial partnership to take place. Here's how all the financing works. Here's all the details work. So by the time that you guys are actually partnered with somebody, we've already talked to them, explained how it works, negotiated a cost per lead that's favorable for everybody to win. And by the time they're actually partnered with you, you can just send them a lead and get paid. So within days, you could start sending a lead to a mover, sending a lead to a roofer, sending a lead to a plumber, and you're actually monetizing that activity, making money off of it instead of just giving this value away for free. Now, I'm going kind of fast because I know I just have a couple of minutes left. I want to share one more way that we've been able to help save you guys up to 5.5 hours per transaction. We did a study on this. The average person in real estate will spend up to 5.5 hours per transaction getting estimates for repairs. As everybody have to do that a lot, you've got inspections, you got pre-lists, you got stuff like that. You got to go out, you got to get all of these repairs, you got to get all that stuff factored in, use it for negotiations, you got to get people come out and do work. You'll spend up to 5.5 hours per transaction doing this. Somebody on here sells 10 houses a month. That's 500, or that's 55 hours a month that you could put back in your pocket with what I'm about to show you, and create an enormous amount of leads that you can sell to the service provider. So I'm in the process of selling my house right now. And I went and used this tool. I knew that I was going to need to fix the HVAC, the windows, the fence, and the landscaping. Everything else is really good because we just remodeled a couple of years ago. And so I went out and I took pictures of all the stuff that I knew I needed to fix. And I loaded it into this repair estimation tool that I'm about to show you that is free inside of your comarketing.com account if you guys want to use this. It told me exactly how much it was going to cost to fix all of the items. And then we went to Notable and got a partnership so that all of you today can unlock up to $75,000 in funds that your sellers can use to cover the cost of repairs that they don't have to pay back until closing. So I uploaded the pictures, got the estimates, then clicked the Notable button, filled out the application. In less than 15 minutes from taking the pictures to filling out the application, I unlocked $50,000 in funds that I could use to cover the cost of those repairs. I am going to replace the windows in the house. It's going to cost me 20 grand. I'm not paying it. Notable, boop, they're taking care of it. And the interest is 1.67% only on what I borrow for the months that I've used it. So it's cheap money. And it's also unsecured, which means they're not putting a lien on my house. They're not doing any of that stuff. At the closing table, I'll send them a check for the funds that I use, and it's boom. How many of you love sitting down with contractors when you get the inspection reports? And you got to go through and you got to figure out how much it cost. Check this out. I built a tool for you guys that does a couple of things. A, it allows you to quickly get quotes for pictures like I just explained. This is an amazing pre-list experience. I was blown away when I did this for myself. Imagine if you do this for your sellers. But then let's imagine you're in the middle of a real estate transaction. You get the inspection report and you've got to fill it out. You've got to get estimates for it. This is a process that would take days or weeks. And this is going to do this in less than 1 to 2 minutes, roughly 60 seconds. It's going to parse out all of the information in the inspection report. It's going to identify local to you. So your zip code, your location, it's going to identify local to you, how much it's going to cost to fix each of these items. And guess what? Each of these things becomes a thing that you can monetize to the service provider. Hey, I've got some work I need done on 123 Main Street. Here's a list of everything that's got to be fixed. Here's how much we think it's going to cost. Boom, please come out and confirm the cost and get the work done. And oh, by the way, you just made $100. You just made $200. You just made $300 for sending them the lead off of the inspection report. What if every inspection report you guys did was you could make, you could pocket 8 to 10% of the value of that inspection report? What if this inspection report right here, which is roughly $6,000-ish of work, was worth $600 to you, to your bottom line? This thing just parsed out all of the data in the inspection report, priced it line by line, and it's telling you exactly how much it's going to cost to fix. If your sellers need to get money to cover the cost of it, they can just click this button and then boom, they're instantly connected to Notable where they can unlock up to $75,000 in funds. And then this is what I love is we can connect them instantly to your preferred service providers who can come out and actually do the work. You can invite your own vendors here and you can get them to do it. Or you can connect with people that have been pre-vetted. This is just an amazing experience. But I think that the coolest part about this is every time you do that, we are able to track how much the value of that report is. And you guys start monetizing this way. So literally, I know I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to be quick. Have a preferred partner program. Charge vendors per lead every time you send them a referral, so that way you make money. Use the repair estimator, so that way you can save an enormous amount of time. I don't recommend doing this with mortgage lenders, title companies, home warranty companies, and insurance companies because they are regulated by RESPA. So we always stay out of that area. So Renee, I know you're answering that question. But by doing this, every single one of you today could begin adding a new revenue stream to the business. You get paid twice, 3 times, 4 times on every single transaction. You can save up to 5.5 hours per transaction just by using the repair estimation tool. And it created an amazing experience for your clients. I'm dropping a link in the Zoom chat. If you guys want to go try it out, get signed up today. It's completely free to sign up. Okay. So none of you are going to have to pay any money to sign up if you want to go out and you want to try it. Create a test photo estimate, create a test inspection estimate, just send a test lead. We'll help forecast what your potential earnings for the next year could be through using this system. And then if you decide that you're like, hey, Grant, I want you to go out and follow up with all of my vendors for me. All you guys have to do is get a paid subscription, and then we will go through and we'll actually start following up with all of your vendors, or we'll start helping you find new vendors to partner with. Isaiah, I was trying to be quick. Looks like I got like
Did awesome.
maybe 2 minutes left.
Didn't he do awesome?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for letting me come in and share that, and would love to
So-
help you all start adding new revenue streams to the business.
Yeah, we're so excited about this partnership with co-marketing. We're going to actually be integrating co-marketing right into the whole Run AI ecosystem. So when you guys log onto your dashboard, you're going to start seeing some really cool stuff in the future as this integrates. And I just highly recommend that you take advantage of this, because why not get paid off of the people that you're already referring? That's my question to you. Why not? Right? So with that, take an opportunity to sign up to that. Quick question for you: how many people enjoyed this session? Drop yes. You got at least one thing away from this session that you're going to take away and go apply. Just drop yes in the chat, okay? And if you got one thing from this chat, I want you to imagine what it would be like to be plugged into a community where you have a step-by-step track to install AI and automation alongside a proven plan to scale your business, what your business could look like in 12 months. Okay. So one thing is that if you're interested at all, even a little bit, if a lot of you are already part of this community, but if you're not yet, and to knowing what that 12-month track could look like, okay, and then how we could help you use AI to generate leads, convert leads, and scale your business, just drop AI in the chat. Okay, so in the chat here, just drop AI. Okay, if you're not already part of the community, I think we have about 50% of people that are. And good, David just signed up to comarketing.com. So and yeah, Venus said he's already part of it. Deborah said I already do it. Awesome. And so what we'll do is we'll follow up with you. So just drop AI in the chat, and then we'll follow up with you ASAP, and we'll give you some more information about that. So one of the things that we're also doing is we're also adding a $5,000 bonus to help you with your lead generation. Okay, so if you're interested at all, just drop AI, and we'll walk you through that, what that looks like. So let's give Grant a huge round
This
of
part,
applause.
what you mentioned, Asaya, this is the rent 360.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're already on it, brother. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So with that, Does anybody have any questions about anything that we covered before we wrap up? On anything that we talked about as far as what you learned, or any quick questions? David, you already got that. You just don't know it, but I appreciate it. Yeah. So I love it, man. I love it, though. I love it. That's all. Does anybody have any questions about anything we covered before we wrap up here today?
It's crazy. I was looking for something like this, Grant. I mean, geez, it was like a nugget fell out from the sky. Thank you.
Okay.
Love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun.
This is the
Is
best. I
it?
mean, this is one of the best things that. Wow.
I just need it to
I'm
be
sorry.
retro. I need to go back
Go
5 years
back. Yeah.
on all the people. In fact, I was
Well,
making calls yesterday
and then
and I was talking to people who I love your contractor. Oh, he's done an amazing job. Look, they're sending me pictures of their renovations.
yes.
Oh,
And
where were
that's what
you?
makes it so easy to put a lot of these partnerships together because sometimes people are like, well, why would my contractor want to pay? And it's like that right there. Like they're getting these high quality exclusive leads from you. And some people are like, well, I don't think they'll want to do it. It's like, why wouldn't we want to have a mutually beneficial partnership so that we're both winning? And when we go back and talk to the vendors, it's like, well, I've been getting it for free for a long time. It's like, yes, so you know how valuable the relationship is. It's one of the easier pitches, but sometimes it makes
So,
people uncomfortable.
so
So
let
we'll
me
gladly
ask you
do it for
something,
you.
Grant, really quick. The roof quotes is something that is in the middle of a transaction that everybody
Yeah,
wants to know. The seller, the buyer. At that point, we that would be a lead to one of those vendor
right,
partners. Can
right.
we sell both the seller and the buyer?
I don't recommend that, but I do recommend selling at least one of those leads to the roofer. We had a roofing lead sold 2 days ago for $416. How many of you have
Wow.
ever had a roofing like new replacement referral? $400 that the agent got up front before the roofer ever even like, yes, this is, I'm
The
obviously
last two
biased, but
transactions, I sent the roofer to
yeah,
a client
yep,
to get a quote. I get nothing from
Yep.
the roofer.
Pretty cool, huh?
yeah.
So
Wow.
awesome, guys. This has been a great session. And thanks again for Grant having us. So for those of you that are already part of our network and you're going to be here next week, we're going to be doing a whole training on how to use AI voice and AI text to actually help promote your events if you want to run an event. And there's over 5 different ways that we've identified that you can use an AI voice agent that most people aren't using it. Most people are only using it for like the common sense stuff, but there's a lot of other ways to use voice agent. Also, a lot of you might have seen this in your chat. We just built AI voice to be able to accept inbound. And so a lot of you started getting inbound phone calls. We've been getting some good feedback on that. And I think Vania, you actually had some calls come in that you took. And so make sure that you come back next week because we're going to do a whole session on alternative ways to use your AI voice agent that you're currently probably not thinking of. That sound good to everybody? Okay. So see everybody next week. Bye bye.